is so crazy what happened in the 90 days from Mr. Gandhi's assassination. Why would we end up with a climax like that? I make fun of or I point fingers at everyone, including myself, which is what I did in Hyderabad Blues.
Correct.
By which time the whole country was on edge, right? They were all looking for Sivaraj, and word had spread that he's holed up in that house.
Yeah.
So everyone and their uncles showed up. Sex trafficking, the underage sex trafficking, all that, and it just kind of shattered me to a point where I was like, no, the answer is yes.
Yes?
The answer is yes. If you don't play the lottery, you're not going to win. This is one area where I fall woefully short. Things still don't last past 3 months.
Hello Nagesh, such a pleasure to meet you again. Like I remember we did an email chat when you were in Satyam Cinemas. It was a Yahoo chat. So we've done a Yahoo chat, then we met at IIT, then we met when you were like turning 50, and then you were so gracious enough to act in Culture Vulture for a cameo. Before that, we were supposed to do like a much bigger film.
I know.
And you have been an inspiration to me like my whole life. If you had not made Hyderabad Blues, I don't think a whole generation of filmmakers would have gotten the courage that they can also like make movies and chase their dreams and not stick to Bollywood or formula and all that. So it's so inspiring to see your journey from then to now when you have like adapted yourself to the OTT space, because I love The Hunt.
Thank you.
I loved City of Dreams, where I think I've told you before also, the quantum of storytelling in City of Dreams is amazing. And now what you've done with The Hunt, what is amazing about it is that you've taken a thriller. Like usually when we watch shows about The Hunt, they are meant to be like, high voltage, jingoistic, going and like, yours, do you think that you are defying expectations with some sort of an anticlimax, and how did you get the courage to go for the biggest anticlimax ever in OTT?
I'm taking that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
It is, because it needs lots of guts.
Well, see, every time when you look at some topic, right, some ideas start to run in your head. You start to say, okay, how do I want to place this and stuff like that. So the two bits about how The Hunt came about is Samir Nair at Applause pitched it to me. And my first response was, hey, I don't want to do anything political.
Okay.
I don't want to get into this where, because I, as a filmmaker, whenever I write characters, I never write them as black and white. I write them as gray. And that's the way I view the world as well. I mean, there's always a point of view. Different people have different points of views. Yeah, I'm sure we don't agree to everything.
Yeah.
But when I sit down as a writer and write, you try and find the humanity in everything. You find the dignity. So that's why I chose never to do anything political. If I'm doing any politics, I'm going to do it in the fictional space. City of Dreams, satiates that need. So, and when I said, no, I don't want to do anything political, Samir said, no, actually take a look at this.
Okay.
This is so crazy what happened in the 90 days from Mr. Gandhi's assassination to the conclusion of The Hunt. He said, there's so many twists and turns, it reads like a thriller. It's like a police procedural.
Yeah.
And when I did, immediately I started, sort of putting the pieces together. So you asked me a question which I'll break into two parts.
Yeah.
One is why would we end up with a climax like that? And second is the perception of The Hunt being, guys with guns and moving quickly, and the shots are
the Osama type Hunt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then there is the kind of tehra, if one must use the word.
Yeah.
The spark happened with the pictures I saw of the SIT.
Okay.
And it just, even today when I talk about it, blows my mind that these people were tasked with the biggest manhunt in Indian history up to that point.
Yeah.
And you look at them, and they're just these normal people you'd pass by on the street and not throw a second glance. In safari suits,
Yeah.
a white tucked shirt,
Yeah.
as governmental as you can get, just standing innocuously like this. There are no dramatic pictures even from that point where
Okay.
it's like, this is the team that, the SIT, that,
Yeah.
and it was also a period, Sudesh, let's remember very clearly, where real life heroes were supposed to underplay everything.
Yeah.
They were not supposed to talk about their work. They were just supposed to get. So that picture gave me the clue. I was like, this is how I'm going to go about it.
Yeah.
Where everything must be
Real.
just so matter of fact one needs to be about it. So blasé almost. Like, oh, we've been given the task and we're going to execute it. It's that.
Okay.
No. And once this clearly ended up in my head, I remember the first couple of conversations I had with the DOP, and I said that it needs to be like we peeked into a room.
Okay.
We will not have dramatic lighting. We will not have a source and this and half light. It'll be high contrast, which things naturally are when rooms are poorly lit, and that's how we're going to stage it. So the camera, other than a couple of scenes, which are the action scenes of it, hardly moves. It's static. It's the good old age of a slow dolly. It's, a gentle dissolve. So it's like went back to filmmaking 101 and just and the way I had these people perform is, again, they kind of subscribe to the same norms that a lot of my actors do in different shows, but there is a level of underplaying which goes further, which, the key word which emerged on the set for me is, it's got to be organic. Oh, it's got to be organic. How do I handle this? A lot of them, and I'd be like, it's organic. I usually don't pay that much attention to body language when I'm actively directing. I know a couple of interviews, I forget which actor, who said that it needs to start outside and then go in. That the larger movements dictate how, actors behave. For me, it's always been, I don't know what your process is, but eventually what I see needs to be right. Here I was a little more specific about the body language.
Okay.
I didn't want the
You don't want swagger, except for the one-eyed Jack.
oh that guy
Rajni fan.
yeah.
You treated him like Rajni.
And what's interesting is when Shafiq Mustafa, the actor who played Sivarasan, he did a couple of rehearsals. He brought the walk.
Okay.
I didn't give him the walk.
Okay.
There was a kind of nervous energy about him, and he's this petite guy who walks with a purpose everywhere.
Okay.
Even if it is to get a cup of coffee, the way he walked, and I just loved that.
Okay.
And I was like, I want that, and he never strayed from that all throughout the show.
So at which point in the book, was it that photograph or was it the climax that you decided that this is the show I want to make because this is going to be like, this is a great climax, or like this? Was it the climax? What sold you? Like the pictures obviously gives you a hint.
The climax came later. So the pictures sold me to it.
Okay.
I mean, I love the fact that I was going to make a show, and this I always have to give credit to Applause for backing me blindly. It can very easily be said कि इसको dramatic बना दो, थोड़ा camera. See, one of the things they know with me is I don't move the camera much, so that's something they made peace with over all the years. But this kind of vision of having it a washed out look, all the colors being, the only colors I had was on the opposite side with the LTT people. With the SIT, there were absolutely no colors. The climax came later. So what happened? Rohit, for this we enlisted another writer's input also, Sriram Rajan, who lives in LA. and we were writing and everything. And then Rohit and I, since we are both based in Bombay, we've been bouncing so many things, so many shows we've been doing, and we constantly keep talking about ideas. And I remember when I was doing the recce for the climax, and I found the locations, and I was, by which time I knew the way I was going to do the show, I said, you know what? I want the climax to be a whole episode. It was not designed that.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was the last 10 minutes of episode 6.
Okay.
So they were going to get to Kunana Kunte, and then the last 10 minutes were going to play out. And it was something that when I got deeper into it, I said, you know what?
This is fun.
I'm going to let the audience experience the frustration of the SIT.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And that was one of those, again, went back to applause and said, hey, I need more money for, of course, that dirty task is always with Elahe, my producer. So we went back and said, no, we want a whole episode just for
the raid.
climax.
The raid is one episode.
Yeah. And that, when I was filming, the kind of stuff that happens.
Is it from the book? Is it real? Is it based on truth? All of it.
It's based on the book.
All the details.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So obviously you had to make a whole episode of it.
Yeah, because see, and that's where scriptwriters are always undervalued, right?
Yeah.
And the director takes center stage.
Yeah.
Is when you pick the episodes which give you the incidents that give you the maximum cinema, the impact, take the audience there, and then you dramatize it in the way you think is right.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part. There might be 8 such incidents that played out.
Correct.
Why do you pick the 5 that you pick?
Yeah.
How does that proper? So as Rohit and I got into it, we were like, no. I was clear. I said, what happened in episode 7 is so unique.
Yeah, it is.
In the history of
OTT. I'm telling you, nobody has courage to do like anticlimaxes, right? Like, because you're afraid that you're going to disappoint the audience because if you're doing something which might be, but it was so entertaining, it was so gripping, it was so like we were in the shoes. Now, one thing I've realized is right from like when you started off, you have a natural flair for poking fun of society in Hyderabad Blues, cultures, Bollywood calling Bollywood. Here, I think you have poked fun at bureaucracy.
Right.
You might say it's not political or something.
Right.
But if I have to watch the show and say, what is he trying to tell me? I'm like, he's trying to show what it is to be in the shoes of a bureaucrat in India, where there are so many factors, the law of the land, different agendas, newspaper headlines, media scrutiny, like there's so much going into it. Was the bureaucracy like a conscious director's voice? Like how did you go about it? Like what was the show about for you? Let me put it that way. Like if you look at The Hunt, what was it about for you?
See,
your approach, I mean, like.
Yeah. So I have always said this, and when people see the stuff I put into my films, whichever film, I know there is a voice. Like you said, oh, you poke fun. Yeah, there is a voice.
Yeah.
It's not, things don't happen by accident.
Yes.
Right? There is a conscious choice. I have never had a larger agenda at play.
Correct.
I make fun of, or I point fingers at everyone, including myself, which is what I did in Hyderabad Blues.
Correct.
The hypocrisy of Varun came out in many different scenes.
Yeah.
But that's the way I view the world.
Correct.
So for me,
even in Bollywood calling, you humanize the people who are making films.
Absolutely. And I am part of the system.
Yeah.
Momentarily, I might have been the outsider when I came, but I am part of the system.
Yeah.
I am doing the same things which I have poked fun of in Bollywood calling. I do it on a daily basis here. Because you want to be in the system, you want to survive, you want to do work, which I have all, these past 27 years. You have to, look at things which are ridiculous and you go, okay, let's do it. So with The Hunt, what truly attracted me to the story, hands down, was the incredulity I felt as I read Aniruddha's book.
Okay.
That is the reaction which propelled me. I said, people have to know this, because this is, no amount of fiction can match up to what happened.
Truth is stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No amount of fiction. I mean, as we, as scriptwriters, had we written a truck just driving up, why a truck drove up? Why does a truck break down so close to the house? Had you written that, first you as a scriptwriter would have ripped it apart.
Yeah, convenient.
I would have been like, what kind of a stupid plot device is this? What are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
But everything that played out in this investigation, starting with Kuneshwaran's random traffic stop, because he chose to ride those 6 or 8 hours to, when he leaves Madras and he goes, I mean, each of those things, the guy, Vicky, in the Murga position, who a cop just happened to be walking by and heard him speak in that Sri Lankan Tamil.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. For me, that was what attracted me. So even as in episode 7, as a director, you asked me, what is my larger thing? Are you trying to? It was, I'm like, I'm going to just lay it out the way it is. And let people see for themselves what actually happens or happened in this case.
Correct.
But what actually goes on when an investigation of this magnitude playing out because it's very easy to look at the SIT and say, you spent 88 days and you got there. You got to his doorstep. Why did you not go? This is why we didn't go in.
I don't know how much was intended, but it did seem like a straight-faced farce.
No, it wasn't. See, but the beauty about...
No, I'm not talking about the filmmaking, but because the more we're looking at it, we are like laughing because it's so darkly funny, right? Like it's like you can't believe it. Like, of course it's frustrating for them, but for us it's funny because like it seems almost farcical, it seems satirical, but you are only reporting.
Yeah.
The reality is that farcical.
And had you seen the pictures from Konanakunte, it was what Captain Ravindran says, it's like they've come to watch a Rajni film. Because crowds, word had spread, by which time the whole country was on edge, right? They were all looking for Sivaraj. Word had spread that, oh, he's holed up in that house. So everyone and their uncles showed up.
Nice.
So there aren't pictures of the perimeter. See, these days, there are protocols for everything. So cops will establish a perimeter. I mean, if you look at our crime scene photos these days, and you look at a crime scene photo, let's say in Belgium, they match up pretty evenly.
Today. But back then it was very different.
Back then it was chaos. There was no... Like, for example, when the bomb went off, 2 things happened. People just took pictures, which they didn't care, left, right, center, published them the next day in the newspapers. And the bomb site was contaminated, which is also what I show, because people are picking up stuff and setting it aside. So that was what each step... See.
Amazing.
Yeah, when you stand now in 2025, or back then we were writing this in 23, when you look at it, you're going, I can't believe they still cracked it. With this much chaos up in the air, they still cracked it. That's the
with a little help from fate and destiny.
With the help, absolutely. She intervened a lot.
When you look back at the show, see, obviously when we're in the middle of it, we don't know how much of it is going to translate because we have an idea in the head and all that. Finally, and you also never watch your stuff back, famously. So when this came out, what was your thing? Like, did you get everything you wanted? Were you like, oh, it's better than what we thought it was, is what I would think. What do you think?
100% what you just said. Oh, this turned out way better than
you thought.
I was like, oh, wow. Sometimes when you start putting things together, and there were so many moving parts here that normally would be in my control, and they weren't. Primarily with the language.
Okay.
Uh, I grew up a little bit in Chennai, back then
Yeah.
Madras. I went to boarding school in Aircard.
Yeah.
So my Tamil at one point was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now it sucks. So I came with that kind of thing saying, oh, I know Tamil, so I'll manage. And that arrogance was just decimated on day one. When you're directing actors
Yeah.
who are speaking Tamil, added to that, we had the Sri
Sri Lankan
Lankan
Tamil. Then you had North Indian Tamil.
Yeah, and added to that, there were Mallu actors.
Oh god.
Malayali actors were playing
Sri
the key
Lankan.
parts.
Okay.
Sri Lankans. So it just was. I mean, there's so many things out of my control. See, one of the things that I focus very, very heavily on in my films is getting the right performance from the actor. I feel you get that right. Even if you're not someone who's a visual director, who's this, who's that, you have 80% of your stuff locked up. And the other stuff, it's great padding, it creates the atmosphere and everything, but you get this part right.
Actors, yeah.
You get the actors right, you've got. And this took the mickey out of me. Because I was just, each day that the shoot would get over, I'd be so exhausted because I was like, it was way out of my league. And I don't know how directors direct in languages that they don't know well.
Yeah.
Oh man, after this I was like, I'm never taking this risk again. Because it's terrifying. But, you don't know, when you complete a scene, you're like, okay, I got that, let's move to the next one. There was always like, oh, did I get that? I had a phenomenal lady called Raja.
Okay.
From Chennai. And I'd be like, Raja, I think everything was yeah sir, we got it. This is how I would move on. When Farooq, and we had Tamil editor as well, Sarvanan, Farooq's my lead editor, has been on COD and a bunch of other projects, terrific guy. When they put things together, I would actually sit and watch it, and I'd be exactly what you said. Oh, this turned out better than I thought it was. I was like, wow, this feels real, and I hope it's not my bias speaking for it, but yeah. And now,
So when you saw the whole thing, you were like, job well done.
yeah, I was like, when people ask me, I constantly get asked this. So, how do you feel now that my answer has always been that I had a plan, I executed it, I'm done.
And you don't watch your stuff later.
And I don't watch my stuff later. So when I started doing press for this, which is close to a good 8 months since I completed it, I had forgotten most of the facts associated with this stuff. Because I don't watch anything, right? So I'm like, what happens? People were asking me about specifics, saying, I don't know. Yeah, it was that. But
So, did you workshop with actors? Because given the dialects like North Indian Tamil, Sri Lankan Tamil, regular Tamil, Hindi, English, there are like 5 different things going on. Did you have to workshop to figure out what is the right mix, right blend, or did that actually get locked at the script level?
The way I typically work is once the stuff is written, I will sit with an actor one-on-one.
Okay.
I will have him or her read out their pivotal scenes, not the whole script. I'll have what I consider the pivotal scenes, how I'm seeing it in my head. And before Door, I had a much more, a longer process of actor prep.
Okay.
Before Door. And since Door, I've changed my approach. Before that, there was this thing of the actor read, where everyone sits, and then there was, I wouldn't call it workshops, but I spent a little more time with the actors.
One-on-ones, not group.
Sometimes in groups, like 3 people reading together, and then trying to understand, all of those things that I did. And what I realized that for me as a director, I can never get what it is I want to perfection till I get to the set. So I find these very inconclusive.
Okay.
The table reads and this, I find them, as a matter of fact, they get my anxiety up because I'm like, this is sounding bad. So what I get out of a one-on-one read with the actor is I need the right voice.
Got it. Are you seeing the character?
I am not talking about
Language or anything. You want to see if it's authentic or not.
I want the voice. Want, like, I'm hearing you right now, Sudesh, and I know that, that's how you sound. And when you're speaking, that's how you look. Okay. Yeah, I think it's matching up to what I have in my head, and leave it at that.
Okay.
And then I want everything on set to be a discovery. And the reality of the set, the reality of the frame is where it comes together for me. What happens in the comfort of an AC room in my office reading with the actor, for me has... So when I read with Shafiq, it was just the one-on-one. Just go ahead. Sahil with same thing. Acha, this is how Sahil sounds. Okay. Yeah. And I'll give one or two instructions on that, saying, hey, listen, can we go a little bit stronger on this? And that is just to see if the actor understands my language, if I can communicate clearly with the actor. Other than that, there's nothing.
How many minutes do you shoot a day? Because you come from the indie space and it might just blow people's mind on like how quickly you shoot.
We shot 7 episodes in 55 days, I think.
Whoa, what do you say?
This show.
So you're still like an independent filmmaker at heart. Even if when you get the budgets, even when you get the monies.
Elahi famously said to me, she said, when you at times complain about not getting budgets, it's not them, it's you. Because the way you are on set, even when she begs and pleads, saying that, hey, listen, do only 2 scenes. I cannot understand there is no other way I see cinema other than at that pace.
Okay.
So if you give me 4 hours to prep, it doesn't do anything for me. It's not like my game goes up and because when it's a pressure cooker is when I do my best thinking. And so we were shooting some
15-20 minutes a day.
Some insane clip, whatever. Because this 56 includes the action scenes and all.
Oh my God.
We did throw in 2 extra days of drone shots and city shots, which Ranjit did.
Okay.
I can't even take the credit for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, those are anyway B-rolls. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, about 56. And actually, I think if you bring it down to my EP, he'll tell you that the actual work was done over 53.
No, but this is happening because, if I'm to understand you right, you're doing it because you want to capture the continuity and the flow of the whole scene and not focus on like, for this one shot, I'm going to take half a day. That's not how you look at cinema in the first place. You're looking at how do I capture that moment.
Yeah.
And for you, that moment might be 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And it's about the making of the moment and the continuity of how you arrive at that moment and get out of it. And hence you say that in one day, is that how you plan, like how you want to shoot your scenes, like based on the moments? Like how do you plan, this will take a longer time, this does not take a longer time?
So I have an incredible associate director. He started as my AD, then became my first AD, and then he does a whole lot more than just, planning stuff. He's got a very good sense of the pace at which I shoot.
Okay.
So he will make a prelim plan.
Okay.
This is Ranjit, my associate director. And then he and I sit. And for me, it's a gut feel of what a scene's going to take. Which, like I said, he can read it 80% of the times. There are times when I'll say, you've put 2 hours, I need 5. And he'll be like, but it's only a page and a half. And I'll be like, I have a couple more complex shots. So what I also do before we go on set is I give my storyboard to Ranjit.
Okay.
So he has an idea.
You have a storyboard?
I have a storyboard.
Like a proper hand drawn, like.
So they are god awful stick figures.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and as I
And you draw them.
yeah, as I storyboard more and more, sometimes even the stick figures disappear. So there's
Just a line.
a circle for a guy, and then there'll be an arrow, and then there'll be another circle for another guy, and I'll write like instructions on top. We track in going past.
Nice.
Yeah. Or I'll just do a CUSI, which is CU Sivarasan, which will have just parentheses, which is supposed to signify the head. And it'll just be CUSI. So, yeah, but the answer is every scene of everything is storyboard
Wow.
before I set foot on set.
Oof, that's amazing.
So even when the episodes were 10 episodes, and I always tell people it requires that level of prep
Yeah, to save money.
to shoot that fast. Because out of the whole quantum of scenes that I do, there might be a 5% of the scenes, or where I'll come to the set and I'll be like, I still don't know how to. And there will be those days.
Yeah.
I don't know how to set this, man. I've been thinking about it for a week straight, but I still don't know how to set it. And a lot of times, I'll go by what happens on set. Sometimes with good results, sometimes not so
Nice.
much.
So when you started out, you were making films which were mostly like personal, or like kind of in the realm of autobiography or lived-in experiences, things that happened to you or your friends or what you've seen.
Right.
The first few films, at least. And then what I saw, like with Iqbal and Door, would you call that the turning point in your life? Because you started, it wasn't just in English anymore. It was like for a bigger audience. What happened between that phase of your life and this phase of your life that made you go from there to this?
So there still is a certain amount of naivety with which I do my projects, right? So that's why when people ask, is there a larger plan? There is positioning. There's none of those things. There's a gut feel. ये करना है और इसको करो, because the story needs to appeal to me. When I first started the journey, it was very autobiographical, because I took. Every great screenwriter said that write what you know.
Write what you know, yeah.
So I said, okay, so Hyderabad Blues came out of personal experiences.
Rockford from childhood.
Diaries.
Yeah.
I kept those diaries in Montfort. So it came out of that. Bollywood Calling were a lot of my direct
Of course.
experiences here. So those
Teen
things.
Deewarein was a bit fictional.
So actually,
Teen Deewarein, I remember, was a tribute to your favorite film, Shawshank Redemption.
Yep. So Teen Deewarein is actually where I shift gears.
Okay.
Actually. And I say that, hey, yeah, there is a certain kind of cinema I'm known for, but that's not just what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to, and I've been saying this, and it's amazing how people have always ignored this. And whenever I dabble in some other new genre, they say, with success.
Yeah.
They say, oh, acha, ye bhi karta hai. My beginnings have been saying the same thing, that I want to make a film in every genre. So tomorrow, if I make a real, bloody Eli Roth kind of violent horror film, people will be like, has he lost his marbles? What the hell? But the idea for me has always been exciting, that, because if I do something I haven't done before, I know that I'm going to bust my ass.
I love the comeback, because you've had phases of lull, like where Lakshmi didn't work, but then you bounce back with Dhanak, which is a children's film for Drishyam films. It won awards around the world, and in a climate where when we were not making films for children, like even today, if you look at content for children, it's like probably disappearing, right? Like we don't make that film.
Yeah.
So the kiddie film you've always had, you've had a lot. I remember you wanted to make a boxing film. I remember you a script called Tandoor, which you wanted to make with Bachchan.
All written and ready.
You had all this.
You just lying there. This thing.
So this kiddie film also you had like for years, or like what? How did it happen?
No. Right after Mode.
See, Lakshmi is an adult film. Like
Correct.
And then you make it. I want to understand what happened. Like,
Okay, so Lakshmi happens. Lakshmi is the only film that I did with a purpose.
okay.
I'd been interacting with an NGO. I got to know of the kinds of things that happen.
The sex trafficking.
The sex
and
trafficking, the underage sex trafficking, all that. And it just kind of shattered me to a point where I was like, no, I want to put this into a story. And right up to that point, and since, I have never made films starting with a message. Because I'm not that kind of filmmaker. I want to entertain first and then squeeze my message in somewhere. But post Lakshmi, there was this thing of, okay, what next? And different things were coming in, being pitched to me. I think in hindsight, I can say this after coming from like a really dark space.
Dark phase of your life also, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Maya was after this, or like?
Maya was right after Dhanak.
Okay, right after. So you went dark, children's film, extreme dark.
Extreme dark. But Maya was, let's see where I go with this dark.
Okay.
As opposed to Lakshmi, which is again uplifting, but the material itself
is depressing, like dark.
Absolutely. And that's why no one wanted to see the film. They just saw the trailer and said, I don't want to see this. So, but Dhanak happened because a friend of mine, Yusuf Sheikh, he just randomly, he said, oh, I have a funder. And he pitched 3 ideas.
To you?
To me.
Okay.
Usually I don't consider, but he had a funder.
Yeah.
So I was like, acha funder hai to chalo pad bhi lenge.
Yeah.
So I read this and I clearly remember. I was like, that hits all the things that I like.
Okay.
It's uplifting, but his story was not eventually what ended up.
Okay.
But it was about these 2 kids in a village and all that. And I hadn't dealt with disability in a while.
Right.
I hadn't dealt with underdogs.
Yeah.
In a while.
I remember Lakshmi and Aankhon Dekhi came out at the same time. Manish.
Yeah.
That's when I told you, like, we're doing X.
No, actually, we should talk about that. I guess you can't. You were the one who actually told me go.
I sent you the connecting email. Like, I connected
you were like, you have to go meet Manish.
So then you pitched it to Manish that you want to make the kiddie film only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By which time, it was one of those rare epiphanies that one has. It was, I was still trying to figure out why that film. And the image that you see on the poster is what I saw in my head. The sister leading the brother across the sands of Rajasthan. That's what. And from that image came the story. Then the story wrote itself.
Oh, nice.
I hadn't done a road film also.
Okay.
So it was hitting everything and then it evolved.
Very nice.
It really evolved. But yeah, so when you told me, I told Manish, and Manish I think was sold at Rajasthan since he's from there.
Jodhpur, yeah. So he's like, let's do it.
He's like, oh, I like it, and so.
No, very nice. Like, because it was, it did the festivals.
It did. Very well.
Won like children. There were not many children's film, and it entertained kids and all that. And from then, you went on to do Maya, which is crazy. And I don't think many people know about Maya, so I should talk about it a little bit. It's a story of an actress, but it's like if you were to make Sunset Boulevard, that's how you would make, but not with an old actress, because at least Hollywood has hope where an actor can like become famous, grow old, and then get irrelevant. But in India, you might never have a shot at getting famous.
Yeah.
There are so many strugglers in this town. As actors.
And that idea was again pitched to me by Rohit Banavlikar.
Oh, okay.
My co-writer. He was the one who pitched it. And Rohit is always throwing ideas my way.
Okay.
And not everything sticks. This one did. And I couldn't figure, I can't even analyze, maybe there was a part of me also, because as an indie filmmaker in this time, as any filmmaker, it's always a constant thing, but very few of us get to write our own tickets, right? We're always, you make a film, then it kind of works, then again you start from scratch, and it never...
no, but now can't you get it out?
Which Maya?
Yeah.
I would love to.
Because now seems like a good time because the people are more open to darker stories, OTTs.
It kind of got stuck with the guy who co-produced it.
Oh, okay. So
That-
there are other issues.
Other issues.
Okay.
But Maya is one of those that since you opened an old wound a little bit,
It's a
I'll tell
wound.
you.
It's not a wound. It's a great film. I don't think you should
Thank
think
you.
of it as a wound.
No, because that almost following Dhanak got into the film festival circuit at the top level.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
But there's a huge gap between yes and almost, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Because I got the unofficial word that it was
Okay.
as part of competition in a big festival.
Do you see the point, like now that you've been around for all these years, do you really see the point of film festivals helping marketing in any way in this climate today? Like, because I'm telling you, because a lot of independent filmmakers, they're putting their hard-earned money to pay submission fees to all these festivals.
Correct.
So I think you should probably speak the truth. Does it make sense for them to put their money? Because to me, it seems like they're robbing the poor to support the rich, which means they take money from the poor independent filmmakers and then showcase films of people they already know. That's what it seems like to me.
Okay. The answer is yes.
Yes?
The answer is yes. Simple. If you don't play the lottery, you're not going to win.
Okay. But it's a lottery.
Correct. It's a lottery. Make no mistake. It's a lottery.
Okay.
But if you don't play it, you're not going to win.
Okay.
So if there's always, since the dawn of time, and this is where that stupid underdog in me and the dreamer comes out, there'll always be a breakout film at a festival.
Yeah.
Maybe it's yours. And if you think they're doing the wrong thing by doing blah blah blah, you'll just miss out on the chance.
No, but don't you think a festival film has its own formula of things it needs?
I agree.
I agree. It has to be woke. It has to be something topical, thematic, societal, mirror.
100%. But tell me which area where you have gatekeepers is not. So we have the same complaints every time an indie film is made, and you want to do a theatrical release, and you're stuck because the gatekeepers are still looking at it from "Arey ye Bihar mein nahi chalega" ya whatever, right?
Yeah.
So these battles never go away. And for film festivals, you have completely the other side. You have people who are well-read, literate, maybe they grew up on a certain kind of cinema.
Yeah.
And they're going to be the gatekeepers.
Otherwise, what have you been up to in life? Like, I remember you were happy, single, and living it up, working out at the gym. I remember you famously said that you can't be in a relationship more than 3 months and all that. How do you look back now, like now that you're older, do you still feel you don't have the bandwidth for relationships, you're happy, single and all that?
Well, older, yes, for sure. I don't know if I have drawn any conclusions or lessons from the way I've lived my life. In that respect, for someone who has a plan in terms of executing his free time, in terms of the way I do my movies and everything, this is one area where I fall woefully short. Things still don't last past 3 months. And it's the classic, it's not me, it's you. Or sorry, it's not you,
It's not you, it's me. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
Is it because you feel like your art is your partner piece? Is that what it is? Or what do you feel the need for a partner piece? Or if you feel the need for a partner piece, is art your partner piece? Or do you think you need a human? What is it? Like, how do you look at life?
Without a doubt, it fills the space in my life. Art does.
Art does.
Storytelling does. I mean, without a doubt. And it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because if you don't let a real person in, you don't know how much space she's going to fill.
Yeah.
You really don't know that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, because this takes up so much of my time, I don't let a real person in. So it's like
Chicken and egg. Yeah.
yeah, actually, chicken and egg is the correct analogy. So there'll be days that I'll be like, maybe I should have given that a shot a little bit more, and then there'll be the next script to write, and there'll be this and this will be just forgotten, and then 2 weeks later again I'll be like, oh, maybe I think I should give a call. That would be the right thing to do. And then I'll be like, let me just finish this meeting, and then that'll be forgotten. So this has been happening. I have said, and I still believe it, which is kind of foolish at 58, is if things are meant to happen, it will.
Yeah.
And I know as I'm saying this, it's nonsense. Because if you don't actively work at it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'd like to believe the first one, because it's with the same naivety I make my films. Ki, ऐसा कर दो तो ये hit हो जाएगा. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
You know what? You were probably ahead of your time. Because these days, kids are anyway don't think that marriage is really necessary or partner piece is really necessary, and it is seen as an old construct and not like really like it applies today, because divorces have increased, relationships are falling apart, people are getting more alienated. So with all these factors today, like even I'm single at 48, and when I asked friends around, yesterday I was chilling with Raja, who says hi, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He's single as well. So he and we were discussing like, marriage and is it really important in today's life? We were talking to a comedian, Shaurya, Shaurya.
Got it.
So Shaurya was also like, his piece is basically about this. Do we need this anymore, or we don't need? It's mostly got to do with person to person. The preferences would change, priorities would change, and because we anchor ourselves in art.
Right.
Maybe we don't, we always prioritize that over everything else. How many hours do you think about stories in a day? Like your mind space, stories. If you look at it, I think that will have all the answer. That will give the clarity. Nagesh's mind, stories, food, gym a little bit.
How many hours? Let's assume that you're awake for about
maximum of 12, 13 hours. No, 14 hours.
Yeah. I'm on a good day, I'm an 8-hour sleep. Otherwise, I'm more a 7-hour sleep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm awake and doing stuff for at least 16 hours. And I pack my days doing the same thing. So if I have active storytelling, right, then it's at least 8 hours.
Half the time.
Half the time.
Straight gone.
Yeah. If I'm not actively working on a project, I'm talking about writing or whatever, then I would say it's at least 2 to 3 hours. At least.
Because you need a real life to get the inspiration for the rest of it.
Absolutely. And a lot of times it will be in the gym when a song or an image. There's now in our gym they installed a TV, and all I do is I play my either 60s, 70s Hindi songs or 80s, 90s English.
Okay.
The rock and everything. No, even the 70s rock. But anyways, and invariably there'll be some takeaway from that day that will work its way into the creative process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you, when you look at the stories you want to tell in the future, do you look back and say, I want to make a sequel to that or this or whatever? Or do you feel like, let me go somewhere else now? Like, I want to look for a new area I've not been to. Where are you right now? Like, because I'm sure this changes, but right now, what do you feel?
At this stage, I want to go back to a happy film.
You want to go back to a happy film? Okay.
Something uplifting, something happy. Once again, the underdog. But I want to, because it's funny that I was asking myself what I would like to do in an ideal world, if I could. And something which I haven't felt in a long time, because other than a little bit in Modern Love Hyderabad, when I delved into a story that dealt with either love or even that wonderful mother-daughter relationship or, something like that. I've been writing, not dark stuff, but I've been writing stuff which is a little bit
heavy.
Yeah, heavier, thank you. And all the right adjectives. So, given that, I, for the first time, said, you know what? I want to do something like Dhanak or Door, or something just that lifts.
Yeah, because
your-
when we're writing comedies, we are spending more time laughing. And when we're spending more time laughing, that means you're laughing while you're writing, you're laughing when you're shooting, you're laughing while you're editing, you're laughing. And so the whole life becomes like, that's been my discovery at least the last few years.
Got
That when we work on comedies, we find it a lot more, we live as happy people. Because it rubs off, the comedy rubs off, right? Like however stressful it is.
Yeah, so I haven't done a comedy.
I
comedy in a while.
loved your holiday film, Bombay to Bangkok.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
so racist.
Is it? Is it?
Today. By today's event.
Really?
Yeah, the
should
accents.
go back and
Chinese, the Chinese accent, the fake Chinese accent.
It's not. It's not
Chinese
Chinese.
voice,
It's
Thai voice.
Thai.
Yeah.
That's her natural voice.
Yeah, it's fine.
And that's the way she speaks.
But it's racist.
It's not. I'd go back and make it again in a
You
heartbeat.
should make a sequel. It'll be so fun.
Oh my God, Lena Christensen is just so beautiful. That's the name of the actress. No, that you ask her to speak. She's Thai also. She's half Thai.
No, I meant the jokes Shreyas makes. The jokes he makes, they're all racist.
Oh, acha. Now I
Now you
get
see what I
it.
mean.
Now I get it. Yeah, you're
The
probably
jokes
right.
are on the accent. It's racist.
You're
But it's
probably-
funny. It is authentic. Like
Yeah.
it's a.
But you
It's
know,
okay.
it's
Dude,
very-
Where's My Car's also like that. Like there are films like that.
But what I don't understand is at one time all these things were racist because of a larger context. But in today's times, I always wonder, genuinely wonder, have we swung the other side and people have gotten more sensitive? For the simple reason that the only way as an Indian I can make fun of is an Indian accent. Because I'm
Correct.
as an Indian doing it.
Yeah.
But once I leave this kind of space, in India I can't even do it entirely.
You can't.
Because as a Telugu, I should be able to
Yeah.
make fun of only Telugus.
Yeah.
I can't do a Tamilian. So I think we've taken that too far.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly okay when people make fun of.
Any accent or anything.
Yeah, I'm speaking, but hey, that's a larger
The
context.
Hangover, the highest grossing adult film.
Yeah.
When it came out, has a Chinese character.
Yeah. Ken Jeong.
Yeah, who said, it's funny because he's fat. He's
Yeah.
speaking in a
He's
cliched
making
Chinese
the-
accent.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
making jokes on fat people. He's playing a Chinese stereotype.
Correct.
Or Hollywood's understanding of a funny Chinese man is
Correct.
what he plays.
Correct.
And it went on for 2 more sequels where they brought him back and made him do more of that.
And it's funny.
And it's funny. We all laugh at it. Tell me one person who does not laugh at Hangover.
Yeah.
Bombay to Bangkok Part 2? You're good. Because
Maybe.
funny Chinese accent or funny Thai accent is a genre by itself.
I'll tell you what I truly want to explore again. And I think it's been a long time now as an insider. I feel like there are more stories to say in Bollywood. And Bollywood Calling was made in 2000.
Sequel, bros. Bring it on.
That is something I
You must,
think
you
I
must.
yeah.
You must totally. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't know how much I'm going to use this because this is me going to be talking.
Okay.
But since the camera is rolling, India's never had a traditional spoof. We've not had a traditional spoof. When we did a spoof, it was like they never told anyone it's a spoof. Andaz apna apna.
Correct.
It's a spoof, but they never mentioned the word spoof, though it is like blatantly a spoof.
A grade, yeah.
All of it is a parody, and they just set it in the past so that they can make it work and all that.
Correct.
But to market it, they never did because conceptually they believe that if it's a parody, nobody will watch. Even in Tamil, that was the case until Tamil Padam came out, and then suddenly it just became such a big hit that it became a franchise. So there's Tamil Padam 1, Tamil Padam 2 was completely on cop stories, and now if he might make a third one with probably horror, like whatever, he might
Got
make it. But arrival of a franchise arrived, like Scary Movie was a franchise
Correct.
and all that.
Correct.
So maybe it's time for that here. So I think Bollywood Calling, what you did back then, maybe now's the right time to do it because that might have been too ahead of its time when you made it because it was seen as art house and all that. But now when you make it, it might probably be like a mainstream thing because now I think they're ready for the parody.
I see again. For me, it has to stem from wanting to do it, as opposed to it's a good proposition to do it. That for me has always been
You
the
want to do
problem.
this now, right?
I feel now that I have stories to tell because I've been like an insider.
We have to talk about the studio. Did you watch the studio?
I love it. I love it. I love it. That for me is just something else. I mean, I was just.
Can we expect to see that
But that
kind of a
yeah.
storytelling when
Yeah.
you're making Bollywood calling?
I
Because
don't,
you did it first before the studio, before Rogan did.
yeah. I don't think I'll have the guts to do such long single takes.
Okay, yeah, forget that.
But barring that, the answer is yes. And I think
The time is right.
yeah, see, when you have enough mal, you feel I can make something.
Yeah.
When Bollywood calling worked, if you ask me like 3-4 years later, I'd be like, dude, everything I wanted to say, I said up to that point.
Yeah.
There's nothing. But 25 years later,
With OTT, studios, guidelines,
correct?
changing audiences, algos,
Absolutely.
franchises.
Exactly. I feel there's so much more to tell and poke fun at ourselves
Yeah.
and our ridiculous meetings and what goes on sets.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. So,
25 years of new material.
exactly. Exactly. So I feel now there is the headspace in me to go back into comedy because that's one of the things that some of the older people who followed my work have asked me that you've completely
Forgotten comedy award.
gone away from that space.
Rishikesh Mukherjee.
Yeah, kya
Rishida.
hua? But it's like if it comes, you tell
It
the
comes,
story. You don't never force.
No, it's waiting to come out because in the hunt, it's waiting to come out. You're resisting not to make the joke. You're trying not to make a joke because you're telling a serious story.
Right.
Though you couldn't help it, it's funny.
Okay.
It seems like a straight-faced farce. And I was telling Raja last night, like, it's so funny, Raja. It's so funny. It's like he doesn't want to make the joke because he knows people are laughing anyway.
Yeah.
With the bureaucracy. The joke is on bureaucracy. And he's like, Acha, it's on bureaucracy. I must watch it and all that. Such a great conversation chatting with you as always. Like every time I've met you, whether it's for the Hindu or like whether it's just been like catching up at the bakery, have over like cups of coffee. It has been an absolute delight. It has been a delight working with you. It's been a delight talking to you. Just whatever you do inspires me and probably a whole new generation of independent filmmakers right now. Thank you so much for being brave, for having the guts, not giving a damn about anyone and any rules or anything, and just doing your own thing. And I really hope you get to make Bollywood Calling too, because that would be so much fun. Thank you so much, Nagesh. Pleasure, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much once again.
My pleasure.